Yun nga po yung tinatanong, nagsalita na nga po si D.S. Fernandez. So, DILG, why are you not responding? Kayo palang overall in charge. I see the memorandum circular here, which was read by the ASEC Glenda. Andito po ba yung DILG? Tama si D.S. Fernandez, DILG ang in charge.
So, andito ba ang DILG?
Comsec, please. How can it be that the department in charge is not even here to shed light on the problem that not only us, hindi lang kami, ang buong bansa ay kinakaharap. Dapat maipaliwanag nila ito kung may problema sa pondo, kung may problema sa assistance, hindi pwedeng hindi sila magsalita tungkol dito sa isyong to. Dahil in this situation, itong particular sitwasyon natin ngayon, pag ganitong attitude ng DILG, sa palagay ko, hindi dapat, kaya siguro lumalaki talaga yung problema natin. At hindi lang Kongreso ang nakakita nito, kundi ang buong bayan. Nandito po kami para tulungan ang ating Pangulo.
ETV Online Channel, in the service of the Filipino online world.
On the part of the Department of Tourism, Your Honor, allow us to share a few of the engagements we've had over the past few months during this pandemic. On behalf of Tourism Secretary Bernadette Romalopuyat, thank you for inviting the Department of Tourism to be part of this congressional inquiry and the government's actions on the locally stranded individuals, of which tourists are included during the crisis brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. At the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the DOT has mounted sweeper flights to and from National Capital Region and various domestic gateways, following the issuance of the Interagency Task Force on Emerging Resolution number 29 on April 28, which authorized the DOT to organize sweeper flights for local stranded tourists. The department coordinated with local airlines to mount flights to Metro Manila and a few to Clark from provincial airports in Butuan, Caticlan, Cebu, Davao, El Nido, Siargao, Cagayan, Tacloban, Iloilo, and Puerto Princesa. These are the major tourism destinations in the country. A total of 29 Mercy flights have been mounted by the DOT and its marketing arm, the Tourism Promotions Board, amounting to over 10 million pesos, and have benefited at least 9,420 tourists and locally stranded individuals. In NCR alone, between May 1 and May 2, some 1,100 distressed tourists from major domestic gateways aboard 9 sweeper flights mounted by the department and made possible through the efforts of the TPB arrive in the NCR via Manila International Airport. A total of 1,049 travelers reached Manila in succeeding schedules. On Friday alone, 180 tourists from Puerto Princesa, 60 from El Nido, and 144 from Boracay. The biggest chunk came from the combined groups from Region 11 and Region 12. A total of 202 stranded domestic tourists in Davao and Socsargen boarded the Davao-Manila Superflight sponsored by the DOT. All right. The 169 passengers from all over Davao region and 33 passengers from Socsargen region had been stranded in Mindanao for over 48 days since the enhanced community quarantine was enforced in Manila and in Mindanao. 7 buses complete with DOT-accredited tour guides on board chartered by the regional office were utilized by the DOT at NAIA to bring home the tourists or the LSIs who are mostly residing in Metro Manila and Mega Manila, Greater Manila area. Complementing these chartered buses are 3 buses from the Philippine Coast Guard and 5 e-jeepneys of the DOTR. The DOT has kept its commitment to the Filipino brand of service and hospitality as exhibited by the agency's successful initiatives to assist a total of 36,947 stranded foreign and domestic tourists since land, air, and sea travel restrictions were placed by the government as a precautionary measure to stop the spread of the COVID-19. To date, the DOT was able to help 27,000 tourists in terms of coordinating the national, local government agencies and embassies and airline companies in mounting super flights. Meanwhile, the DOT also provided one-time cash assistance to qualified domestic tourists whose air and land tickets were affected by the ECQ implementation. So at least that's 2,000 pesos per tourist that they can use for food and other while they are stranded in the regions. All right. If I can share to you the screen right now. Oh, that's, for instance, this is a particular, can we go back to the fourth slide? So this is an example of a 360-degree cycle of 5J Airbus Manila, Davao, Manila, sometime May 6 superflight. So from Manila, we brought in passengers heading for Davao, a total of 275 packs. Make it quick, Nix. So just run it down, Nix. So we assisted in the airport, upon boarding, etc. And then until the plane reached in Davao, and then it returned to Manila with LSIs. These are domestic tourists. Go, Nick. So upon reaching Manila, they underwent rapid testing before they are brought to their different homes in Metro Manila and Greater Manila area. So good thing PCG was there. The OSS at the airport at NAIA was there to assist and provide rapid testing upon arrival at the airport before they go back to their communities. And we provided as well food packs for all the tourists. So, Your Honor, that's basically what we've done during the past as part of the management of the locally stranded individuals. And we were focused on the tourists that were stranded in the regions, basically in their major gateways. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Director Makiling. Okay, gusto ko lang ho iklaro, no? Just para lang magkaroon tayo ng direksyon sa hearing natin na to. Ang nais po ng ating gobyerno, partikular ang aming Kongreso, led by Speaker Cayetano, ay ma-address yung problema ng mga locally stranded individuals, lalo tigit yung nakikita natin doon sa Rizal Memorial Stadium. I understand, like for example, in the case of tourism, may mga stranded individuals, mga turista, pero marami hong nandito sa ngayon na gusto sana nating maiuwi sa kanilang probinsya. Pangalawa, kaya natin gustong i-address yung problemang to, sa kadahilanan na yung kanilang sitwasyon sa ngayon. Hindi natin alam saan sila natutulog, paano sila kumakain, at yung pagkakalapit-lapit nila baka magkahawaan pa ng COVID. Accordingly, kailangan din ho natin pag-usapan paano silang tatanggapin sa kanilang mga LGUs. Kasi di ba kailangan silang saluhin doon, kung may quarantine man, ano ba yung magiging proseso natin? Of course, in all this process, yung Department of Health, kaya ako tinanong ho, ay para maiayos natin kung paano yung magiging pag-check sa kanila. Kasi nung mga hearings naming nakaraan, ang aming pinag-usapan, yung OFWs na nasa abroad na umuwi dito. Ngayon ang gusto namin pag-usapan, at paano rin kami makakatulong, ay yung ating mga kababayan na naipit dito sa Maynila. Naipit dito dahil hindi makaalis o hindi kaya umuwi at hindi naman makabalik sa kanilang mga probinsya. So if I may, sino po ba ang pwedeng magbigay? Would this be a concern of the SWD primarily? Sino po ba ang in charge ng mga ahensya? So that para lang ho organized. Sila muna yung mag-present, makita natin yung kabuuan, and then we will see the other agencies as they make their respective presentations doon sa kanilang
Representative from DILG, I think before asking the DSWD to answer, most probably yung DILG po muna, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Deputy Speaker Fernandez, ang iklaro lang ho muna natin yung situation. Ilan ba talaga yung naiwan dito? Sino-sino itong mga taong to? Ano yung kanilang mga sitwasyon? Ano yung kanilang kalagayan? And then from there, Deputy Speaker Fernandez, maybe we can ask the respective departments as to their policies if you will allow.
In that case, Mr. Chairman, I submit to your wisdom. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Fernandez. So, again, would it be DSWD, Yusek? Kayo po ba ang primarily in charge?
We can present a briefing related to this, Mr. Chair.
So, I would like to clarify, in the different departments, DILG, DSWD, DOT, and the others, sino ang in charge sa inyo? Are you telling me right now there's no one in charge of this problem? Wala po?
May I direct Asik Glenda to respond on that?
Asik Glenda of DSWD, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, there's a memorandum circular 2020-087 issued by the DILG. The subject is duties and responsibilities of local government officials, DILG regional directors and field officers, PNP and other concerned on the management of returning overseas Filipinos and locally stranded individuals, sir. So,
Okay.
nandito po lahat, sir, yung parang mga requirements, even documentary requirements, and also the steps and flow charts that
Thank you.
each individual needs to take po, sir.
Thank you, Asik Glenda. Thank you for that. Yun nga po yung tinatanong. Nagsalita na nga po si DS Fernandez. So, DILG, why are you not responding? Kayo pala ang overall in charge. I see the memorandum circular here, which was read by the Asik Glenda. Andito po ba ang DILG? Tama si DS Fernandez, DILG ang in
talaga
charge.
yan. So, dito ba ang DILG?
Comsec, please.
Your Honor, we sent the invitation addressed to Secretary Eduardo Año on Tuesday, and it was acknowledged. The invitation was sent through email, and it was acknowledged by the Legislative Liaison Officer, Mr. Jerry Loresca, on July 29, 2020. But as of this moment, sir, they did not have any representative in plenary as well in the Zoom.
How can it be that the department in charge is not even here to shed light on the problem that not only us, hindi lang kami, ang buong bansa ay kinakaharap? Dapat maipaliwanag nila to kung may problema sa pondo, kung may problema sa assistance. Hindi pwedeng hindi sila magsalita tungkol dito sa isyong to. Dahil in this situation, itong particular sitwasyon natin ngayon, pag ganitong attitude ng DILG, sa palagay ko hindi dapat, kaya siguro lumalaki talaga yung problema natin. At hindi lang Kongreso ang nakakita nito, kundi ang buong bayan. Nandito po kami para tulungan ng ating Pangulo, tulungan ng ating mga departamento. Andito yung DSWD, naalala nyo, pinag-usapan po natin ang SAP. Hindi naman kami nagturo, umalalay kami kung anong kailangang ibigay alalay sa inyo. At ngayon po, pag-uusapan na yung Bayanihan to Heal Part 2, na kung saan magbibigay ulit tayo ng tulong sa ating mga departamento, partikular, ang DFA, ang DSWD, ang Department of Labor, para dun sa mga apektado ng COVID at yung mga kailangan natin gawin. To the members of the committee, the vice chairpersons who are here, I think this is an affront not only to the committee, but to Congress itself. Ngayon po, pag-uusapan pa yung budget deliberations, ang budget ng DILG, pagka ganito yung performance nila, sa palagay ko, talagang maapektuhan ang ating Pangulo, ang ating gobyerno, pag ganito ang kanilang klase o kalidad ng paninilbihan sa ating bansa. Yes, Fernandez?
Mr. Chair, dito po sa memorandum circular, that was issued, that was mentioned by Yusek Relova, lumalabas po talaga na DILG ang pinaka-head, no? But of course, isang organizational chart that deals with this issue. Meron diyang yung tinatawag po natin na secondary level of responsibility. So I think the DSWD stands for that position, if I'm not mistaken. So most likely, if the DILG is not around right now, so palagay ko bigyan po natin ng pagkakataon ng DSWD to 2%, no? But I feel what you have said a while ago, Mr. Chair, that sana naman ay hindi binabaliwala ng DILG yung pong usapin tungkol po dito sa locally stranded individuals, dahil nakita po natin yung problema na kinaharap ng ating mga kababayan, at nakita din po natin yung possible na problema na idudulot nito sa dami po ng locally stranded individuals, at sa araw-araw na kanila kinakaharap na problema ay mamamagnify ito pag uwi nila sa mga probinsya. And we have really to tackle this problem. And siguro, Mr. Chair, if you will, if you may, allow the DSWD to present in the absence of DILG.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Fernandez. Bago po natin kilalanin DSWD, una po sa lahat, from the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, may we direct the Committee Secretary to write a strongly worded letter. Isa pong sulat kay Secretary Anyo sa pang-insulto sa komite, sa hindi pagdalo ninuman mula sa kanilang departamento, una sa lahat. Pangalawa, ito po'y in-schedule ng mabilisan sa kadahilanan na nakikita natin na may problema talaga ang ating mga kababayan. Maraming stranded sa kanila at hindi namin alam kung anong problema. Kung ito'y problema ng pondo, kung ito'y problema ng koordinasyon, at ang Kongreso po ay nandito sana para makatulong. Kaya po ito, kung di nila tinitignan na malaking problema, again, the COMSEC, and of course, would write the letter that this is an affront not only to the committee, but to the members of Congress. And number 3, naiklaro po natin na may budget deliberations po tayo, at kung ganito ang performance ng DILG sa ngayon na mayroong mga stranded at sa darating na panahon na sa palagay ko, hindi lamang ang komite pero ang buong Kongreso ay gagawa ng pamamaraan patungkol sa budget ng DILG. So with that, if there are no more statements, we will now proceed with the presentation of DSWD, and after which the
Mr.
chairman, the Honorable Abrad, yes, the Honorable Remulla.
Is Mr. Encabo in? Is he part of the Zoom or is he present here? There. Your Assistant Secretary or Undersecretary?
Assistant Secretary,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair.
I think we met a long time ago at PMS.
Sir.
Maybe 3 years ago. Yeah.
Sir.
Anyway, ang tanong ko lang ho, yung sa Rizal Memorial, were you the one in charge? You were the one quoted by media as being the one in charge in Rizal Memorial. Is that correct?
Mr. Chair, for correction, Mr. Chair, I am not ASEC Joseph Encabo of the Presidential Management Staff, but I am ASEC Rodolfo Encabo of the DSWD, Disaster Response Management Group. So we have two ASEC, Sir Encabo. The one is sa PMS, yung in charge ng LSIs. Ako po sa DSWD po, Mr. Chair.
Is the other Encabo around?
We know, COMSEC, if the PMS ASEC is around.
That's Joy Encabo, no? Si Joy Encabo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, we also sent an invitation to the Presidential Management Staff, but we haven't had any feedback on that invitation, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, can I also request that another letter be sent to the PMS because they were the ones directly in charge of Rizal Memorial when that crowding happened. And I think that they should also be advised that they have to obey the summons of this committee because this matter has to be resolved, and they're the ones actually who were in charge of that spectacle that happened in Rizal Memorial. So please, Mr. Chairman, if we can get a letter, a strongly worded letter also to the PMS.
Thank you. Our Senior Deputy Majority Floor Leader, as per your advice, COMSEC is directed to also write letter to PMS. All those agencies, the two agencies of DILG and PMS are both advised to take this matter seriously as Congress is this matter seriously. So ordered.
Like and subscribe. Watch the previous video. Thank you for watching.